Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 62 of the Pod of War Gamescast. I am your host, UF Gizmo, joined this week by Massive Dad Chris McGilly.
Hello, everyone.
And 2023's Little Miss Taunton, it's CW Lanky.
Hello. Can I be the carnival princess?
You can be whatever you want to be, princess.
Thanks.
Anything you want to be. So, it's 2023, guys. How do we feel?
Yeah, good.
I feel like a completely different person to who I was 2 days ago, Dave.
Well, some of us are turning 33 this year.
That's something to look forward to.
You'll be turning the big 3-1, Craig, so game over.
Yeah. We rewriting the lyrics. No one likes you when you're like 33 instead of 23.
If you want to do that, Pinky, that sounds like a wonderful thing to do. But today we're not rewriting lyrics. We're talking video games. So before we get into the main topic of the show, let's start with what we've been playing. I guess what we got for Christmas as well. Let's start with CW Lanky.
So all I've been playing is Final Fantasy.
Woo!
The old Crisis Core. I have just finished earlier on today, chapter number 8.
Impressive.
Yeah, so I'm actually chugging through it quite well. I think I've done like 12 hours or something like that. Because I've done quite a lot of the side missions that are in the game, especially if you get achievements for doing them, or you get actually good stuff for doing them. Because some of them, I don't know how many there are on this game. It's got to be over
300.
I'd say.
I think
There
it's
you go.
like 300.
So there's a hell of a lot, and they can be quite addictive. But they also, once the kind of novelty of them runs off, they do kind of drain on you a little bit. So I've been picking through some of the ones you get achievements for. Some of the ones you actually get good gear for as well. But there's some of them where you get some extra item slots, which is quite cool. Because you only start with 2 item slots, you can get up to 4 if you do the right side missions, and doing that sort of thing. And I've gone into this game. This is my first ever Final Fantasy game. I've gone into this completely blind, but with an open mind, I'd say. Yeah, and I've been enjoying it like a lot. Like I said, I'm flying through it quite quickly. I really like the combat in the game. Just 'cause it's just so simple and so addictive. I'm not good at like hack and slashy action games. If you want me to do a combo and it's more than 2 buttons, then you're in trouble. Like I'm not remembering that. I'm never doing it. So the fact that there's pretty much 1 button, and then there's the magic buttons, works in this game's favor, like dramatically for me. I'm guessing the combat has changed quite a lot from the original. That's one thing I'm going to see.
Not that much.
As in, do you mean the original Final Fantasy, or do you mean the original version of Crisis Core?
The original Crisis Core, yeah.
No, it's pretty much
Not
the same.
that much. The DMW's changed a bit. It used to be more random, I think, but that's about
Yeah,
it.
the main core, that's how it played on PSP.
Oh, really? That's quite impressive.
It's very similar to Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar
Okay,
to
nice.
Kingdom Hearts.
Nice. Yeah.
Both Nomura, obviously.
Enjoying it a lot. I'm kind of like the story, like I'll be into for a bit, and then I'll be like, I'm losing interest, and then it kind of like grabs me again. I'm like, oh no, I actually understand what's going on again now. I'm back with you, and then I'm just kind of in this cycle of that at the moment. But Dave has told me that the ending is good, so
The ending is good.
I'm sticking with it in a big hope for a big dramatic ending.
Yeah, I can't remember the order of the chapters, and obviously there's no spoilers, but there comes a point where shit changes and it gets crazy.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, I'd really recommend it. I weirdly, before I knew we were getting codes for it, I think I watched the review.
Obviously,
on the kind of funny
hashtag
Gamescast.
sponsored.
Yeah,
Carry on.
I watched the Gamecast review, and they were quite down on it. I thought, and I'm weirdly, as the person who has no real interest in Final Fantasy, a lot more positive than they are. I think.
I think it's not a game that it's not a game that right now hits for reviewers, because obviously they have to rush through it, and you know what I mean. Whereas I think with the way that we play games, you kind of appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah,
I'll obviously
it's
talk
got
about that
weird
game as
feelings
well when
to
I
it.
get to my section. But yeah, it's fun to see that you're enjoying it. I mean, obviously we've talked about this on the show. It sucks that you're not going to be able to play arguably the best version of that world because it's only on PlayStation and PC. But yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, it's
Square.
weird. It's got this like the old school feeling to it. you can tell it's a kind of like a remaster of an older game. The way you kind of have to load in and out of levels, but obviously now playing on modern tech, you load in very fast, which I'm gonna assume probably wasn't the case back in the day.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh no.
it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Destroy All Humans games. It's got that like it feels like you're playing like an old fashioned game, but without kind of the pain in the ass of playing an old fashioned game.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. Would definitely recommend it, even if you're like me on the Xbox and have no interest in Final Fantasy, but you just want to give it a go. I would definitely recommend giving it a go. Oh, and the music as well is phenomenal. It's so fucking good. I played pretty much this whole game with headphones on just because the music's so good.
Nice.
Yeah. So been enjoying the music a hell of a lot.
I think I might have to just lend you my PS4, Craig, so you can play through Remake.
Yeah, we'll see.
I've
We'll
got a
see.
spare one lying around.
Yeah, I got a spare one as well. So, here's
Everyone
a
has
bunch of PS4s.
PS4s now.
Obviously. But other than that, Craig, have you bought anything? Obviously, it's been Christmas.
No.
Have you got anything for presents? No? Any gift
No,
cards
I
you want to
did
spend?
Yeah, no, I did get a Xbox gift card.
Xbox.
I think it's 25 quid. So I will be looking
That's
out
a
for
lot of
something.
Game Pass.
Yeah, looking out for something digitally. With that, I was thinking maybe some DLC because I haven't bought the
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil DLC yet. I don't know how much that is, but if I see that go on a sale, then that might go towards that. If the Dirt 5 DLC ever goes on sale, Dave, right? Maybe
One day.
possibly in 2026. So yeah, I do have that to spend at some point.
Lovely. Lovely. Well, I suppose the complete opposite end of the spectrum is Chris Pengelly. So, Chris, what have you been playing? What have you bought?
Well, I played a little bit of Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. I think I've done the first 2 chapters, so not much of that at the moment. What I have played, I'm enjoying it. Obviously, loved it back in the day. It's like my favorite Final Fantasy, apart from 9. This is like one of those weird ones. Like I'm no rush, sort of like to play it because I've played it before, but definitely want to finish it. Games I have finished though. I finished Dark Pictures Anthology, The Devil in Me. That's the newest one of them. Out of
How
the
many
4,
in are we now on these?
that was number 4. That was the season finale, and they announced season 2's games called Direct. The first one of that called Directive 8020 or something, and it's in space, but it's kind of like alien-y type thing. There was no sort of like actor or anything in the trailer, stuff like, and like the main like actor they've got on this one, like they've had Sean Ashmore and Will Potter's a woman called Jessie Buckley, who I've never heard of, but she was nominated for an Oscar like in 2021. So I guess they can go. We got an nominated Oscar person in this game, but yeah, I have no idea of the next one.
Wish they would like almost give up on that and focus more on like things like the Quarry.
Yeah, because the
more
Quarry
standalone.
it was much better than this, but then like this 20 quid like brand new after like a sort of like a month, and you know what you're sort of getting. You're getting like a 5 hour sort of movie which you can play. It's fine for what it is. Like I play them like every year because we've had one every year. So don't know if I have a break. Seeing this as the season finale and then we got a season premiere, like maybe I'll have like a year or 2 off and then we come back with the directive. If you like these sort of games, you'll like this one. If you don't like these sort of games, you won't like this one. It's not really going to change your opinion. If you've not tried one, like Man of Medan's better Until Dawn on like PS4 or the Quarry, I would say better from Supermassive as well. So that finished. I got for Christmas Sonic Frontiers, which I'm playing the PS5 version, which I've almost sort of done the story of the first island. I played it sort of like one day and thought, oh, let's see what Sonic's like. The PS5 version's downloaded, and I just kept playing until like near the end of the first island on that. I believe you're being played it on Switch, Dave.
I am currently playing it on Switch. Yes.
Nice. Now, how far are you in?
I'm about 3 hours in at the moment.
Nice. So I guess we're about the same place.
Yeah.
I don't know how, sort of thing.
I just got there slower with a worse frame rate.
Yeah, because I'm playing in the 60 frames mode, which is available. So there is a 4K native version of mode if you want, but it's in 30 frames. So if I stick it to 60 frames on that. Oddly, I've started, and I mentioned on here, I still think it might be a doable of a platinum. It's just depending how quick I can be before it goes offline at the end of February. That's Babylon's Fall, which is meant to be the worst game of 2022, according to Metacritic. I'm actually quite liking it.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, obviously the reviews when the game came out, I don't, because it's like a Destiny type live service game, hence why I'm saying it's going offline the end of February. If, like, maybe the battle pass was awful, maybe the drops of loot was not great, maybe the monetization was bad. Obviously there's no battle pass now, there's no monetization. Like, I've already got, I think, 3 of the 4 sort of trophies for, like, having, like, legendary, like, stuff. So I don't know if the drops are better. And that the art style is weird. Like, I'm playing the PS5 version of the game, so it's like 60 frames, etc. But you wouldn't think it was a PS5 game. Looking at it, you would even say it's like early PS4, maybe late PS3, because of the weird art style they've chosen. So maybe that put people off. But the combat's really good. Like, it's made by Platinum, and if you dodge perfectly, you get a bit like Witch Time from Bayonetta and stuff like that. So the combat is fine. The art style is weird, but the loot and that drops I've had have been fine, but maybe that's been changed since launch. And there is people still online. Obviously most of them are like high level, and I presume are just grinding for loot, etc., for the remaining trophies. But I have played with some random people and stuff on Bear, and it's been, actually surprisingly quite good. So weird one. You're either gonna have to jump in like now if you want to play it, or come March it'd be totally dead. But I've definitely played much worse games than Babylon's Fall. Like Chokuro GP came out last year from Square, miles worse than Babylon's Fall, so I can only think it's the monetization. And then I started late last night Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which is the fighting Grand Blue game by Arc System Works. I haven't touched the story mode yet. I've been picking up like the weird sort of like trophies, like do your avatar and stuff like that. I've played some online because there's trophies linked to online, so I have won a online ranked battle, so I can get my trophy for that, which is surprisingly like rare. It's like only 12% of it's got it, and it's like okay, you got to be fairly, I guess, good to win a game, but it's not. It's based on your rank, so it tied me with someone else that obviously hasn't played the game, so that, and there's like get your rank placement, for the season and all those sort of trophies, and then I'm trying to go for the tutorial trophies and stuff like that, to get all them out of the way, and then start on the sort of the RPG story mode of the game, which is like 5-6 hours and isn't an anime cutscene like Guilty Gear's actual game, with stuff to unlock and trophies and stuff like that. So that is what I've been playing.
Lovely, Pengy. Lovely. Not too bad at all. So, as for your boy,
actually,
Dave,
I play more Fire Emblem Fates on 3DS. I'm plugging away at that. I think I'm on chapter 24
swear
now.
to God as my witness, you do this every week where you say you're done, and as soon as I start talking, you jump back in. Craig, can you confirm that he does this every week?
There's always some nonsense that he's forgotten about in there.
But anyway, Fire Emblem on the 3DS to one side. What have I got? So for Christmas, I got quite a lot of video games, actually. So I got WRC Generations on the Xbox, which is the last... what's the studio called? It's the last one before it goes to EA, put it that way. So I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But got that for Christmas. I also got Story of Seasons Friends from Mineral Town. Is that right, Pengy?
Yes.
But I got that on Xbox as well. Been meaning to play more of these games, and as I've said privately to at least Craig, I want to support the devs that make these games more. So it's one of those where like they've put the game on Xbox, they're putting the next one on Xbox. Why not play on Xbox? I'm not going to be as stressed about trophies by playing it on Xbox, and I'm also not going to have to worry about the Nintendo Switch tax of the extra 15 quid I think it was if I bought it on Switch. So I'm going to play it on Xbox and see if it is. I've also heard good things about that game, so really excited to play it on Xbox.
This Wonderful Life, the next one coming to Xbox?
It is also coming to Xbox. Yeah, it's £35 pre-order. So if I like this one movie, I'll get that as well. It's called the games on this are coming to Xbox.
Well, that's the one that's the remaster on the GameCube. So
yeah, so that's the GameCube remaster, and this one is a remaster of a GBA game, I believe, which I think it was also a remaster of a SNES game in Japan, but who knows?
Is that like Inception? If you got a remaster,
right? It's like, well, I call it the Last of Us tax, right? So just keep remaking it, but they've actually changed some of the game in this one, so that's quite exciting. But yeah, sticking with Xbox in terms of bought, I think one other game I bought on Xbox. I bought Sonic Origins in the New Year's sale because I had some money for Christmas. There was an Xbox gift card, so I picked up Sonic Origins. I think I paid £16 for it. It's Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and CD and Knuckles. It's great. Gotta love Sonic. Gotta go fast, Craig. On the PlayStation side of things, the only thing I got, my in-laws got me a PlayStation gift card for Christmas, so thanks Rach and Jeff, and I picked up New Tales of the Borderlands with that gift card. I'm yet to play it, but it's there ready. Obviously, Craig, you're going to sense a theme here. And on the Nintendo Switch for Christmas from my dear old rents, I got I never get this right. Mario Strikers Battle League. Is that right, Penguin?
Yes.
And I got Bayonetta 3. So I've got plenty of Switch games to play. So that's what I bought or / gotten as presents. Quite a lot of games, I think you'll all admit, but it's basically just gift cards being used, if I'm honest. And I don't need anything else, so I might as well just get video games. As for what I've been playing, I've been playing an awful lot of Crisis Core as well on the Xbox. I'm not as far as Craig, but I'll be honest with you, I'm addicted to the mission mode. So even though I'm not really a high enough level for some of the missions, I just keep throwing myself at it because I think it's fun. And I've got most of the summons and all that kind of stuff done now as well. But yeah, really enjoying that game, much like Craig. I played it back in the day on the PSP, and it obviously runs a lot better. Like I said, there's no load times. It's really strange that it goes back to like the same cinematic movie sometimes, though. So the movies look worse than the game, because the game obviously on Xbox and PS5 is like really 4K'd up and looks gorgeous. But yeah, it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable little action RPG, and obviously because it's been made for a handheld, it has handheld structure, which I really like because I just don't have the capacity to sit there for 3 hours anymore. So like the fact that you can come in, do a mission, takes like 5-10 minutes, and then you can bounce out and you've achieved something is really cool. Like I said to Craig, the story's really good, and we'll see what he thinks at the end of that. Sticking with Xbox, I have actually played a lot more of Persona 5 Royal as well. And on its handheld mobile, I've just been chilling around with my girlfriend. I think I'm at the end of the second palace, which is further than I've ever been before. So I feel like once I've tipped over that, I'll be fully invested, wanting to get to the end. Really enjoying it, really enjoyable game. Obviously on Game Pass, it runs really well, as I've talked about before. And if you have Game Pass, I do recommend it. It works really well on the mobile app as well.
Is that still with your game, Sarah?
Yes, I've been playing it. I play it pretty much exclusively on the game, sir, in bed at night.
Nice.
It works fine for that. I don't really have a text issue too much. I've got Pixel 6, so it's quite a big phone, but yeah, I've not had any real issues playing it on that, and obviously it doesn't require particularly quick inputs, so it's all good fun. Yeah, I really recommend playing the game. That and say Like a Dragon, I think it will work really well in that kind of scenario. And what else have I played? I've played so much. I did start actually Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga last night, and
nice.
That's not great. That's not.
Oh,
great.
really?
Yeah, it's not really like any of the other Lego games. There's a combo system with different buttons, and it kind of just moves you around quite quickly, as opposed to like the Lego games, you do a level, and then you bounce out to like a hub world, and then you do another level. It's not really like that. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, if it's on Game Pass, I'd recommend giving it a go, see if it clicks with you a bit more. But say my partner and I were very bored of it very quick. We actually ended up downloading the original Lego Star Wars 2 on 360, and we played that for about 2 hours after instead, which we found much more enjoyable. But yes, I can see why some people are a bit about it now, because I think the gameplay is fine, but it's just kind of the level structure just isn't that enjoyable, because it's not really in depth enough to hold an interest unless you're a massive Star Wars fan, and even then it's kind of like handholdy. It's really hard to explain, but I say play the opening parts of episode 1, Craig, and then I think you'll probably agree with me. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I've got it installed. It's onto the classic. I'd get to it at some point. Yes.
Right, well, I've got a whole list of that, so don't worry about that. And then I think that's it for Xbox. I think that's all I've played. A bit more of High of Life. That game's really funny. I just do like a boss a day. It's just fun. Nothing on PlayStation other than Ratchet and Clank, which I'm still playing. I'll probably get done with that soon. Me and Chris can talk about that a bit more. And then on Switch, I've just been pottering around. I started Lady Layton because I've had that in my backlog for a while. Quite enjoying that cute little puzzle game. I have a whole list of backlog games.
Right, is that the original Switch release, or is that the deluxe Switch release?
The deluxe Switch release I have.
Yeah, but that's really bizarre that it got like a remaster on the Switch, even though it was on the Switch.
I mean, Nintendo, right? It's what they do.
Well, no,
Endless
level
remasters
5.
and ports.
It was level 5, I believe.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm enjoying that, and then I'm actually about to start Kirby's Forgotten Land because I borrowed that off Craig, and I want to get that played. I watched a roundup video of someone from the year, and I saw that. I was like, oh, you know what? I borrowed that off Craig. I should really get to that soon. So that'll probably be the next Switch game I get to. But yeah, lots of games that I've acquired. So I can rest my voice. I can't even rest my voice actually because I've got to read all this out, haven't I? So we've tasked the boys, tots, with our Game of the Year awards. Now, obviously, we're strange. We do this at the start of the next year, Craig. So the year is complete.
Pepsi.
All right.
Yeah.
So the
You
structure
can
is
actually play games that come out in December.
right, Craig, and then play the games we've missed out on over our Christmas break, which is the bit we have the most amount of time for.
Incredible.
Madness. So the structure this year is slightly different to last year's. We basically, the only combined award is the Game of the Year award because that's the one that makes sense. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to go through each of the sections, read out what the boys have put in, what I've put in, and we're going to just have a little chat about it. So you ready, boys?
Yes.
So the first category I tasked the boys with doing was the Backlog Game of the Year. So that's a game from a previous year that was played this year. It doesn't have to come out this year, but they've played it this year. So we'll start with me because it's just easy. My top 5, in number 5 first, was Infamous Second Son, which I did a hard mode playthrough and got the platinum.
Which I believe you. Well, I was going to say you got the platinum. I believe you did like.
Really enjoyed that game. Loved it when I first played it, and I loved it just as much playing it again on hard mode. Number 4, which is a controversial number 4, and it's above Infamous, is Pokemon Shining Pearl, which I played from last year.
Really?
It's my least favourite Pokemon game that I played this year, but I still enjoyed it a lot. I still played it for 30 hours, so I can't really say I didn't enjoy it.
It's just the one you guys were moaning was really boring.
It's so boring.
I get confused.
It's so boring.
So Pokemon Shining Pearl is slightly less boring than Infamous because I played Infamous on hard mode. So that kind of dragged me a little bit, right? And
Yeah.
I'd done all the fun bits, like I'd done all the collectible bits, like it was just literally like beating my head against a brick wall to get it done. And Shining Pearl's end game is kind of fun. It's like end game, post game is kind of fun. So that's kind of where it slightly peaked above Infamous Second Son, but as you'll find out from the next 3, it hasn't peaked particularly high. So number 3, I chose Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars, which is the first Voice of Cards game. I played that at the very start of the year on my Switch, and I loved it. I thought it was a really fun game. I essentially got the platinum, quote unquote, on Switch, did all the side quests, got all the ultimate weapons, did all the shenanigans, loved it. I would highly recommend that series. I think it's a really fun series. Number 2 is a bit of a rogue one here, Craigo. This is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on the Wii. Really enjoyed that when I played that earlier in the year. I remember talking to Chris about that.
What's that like on the Wii? Because obviously that's
actually way better than it is on the GameCube because you have
just the bongos.
Yeah.
So I didn't use the bongos. I played it on Wii. So you can actually control the character with the stick, which is obviously better. And then you just do the fighting actions with the sort of motion controls, and it's fine. It works really well. I really enjoyed it.
How many bongos do you have?
I don't have any bongos, Craig. I played it with a Wii.
Yeah, 4.
So
Okay.
Chris is ready for 4-player Donkey Konga at any time.
Yeah, you got to be ready.
But yeah.
I'm waiting for like Dave's house party, and we have 4-player Donkey Kong.
Well, when one of us gets a house, I think we'll have to crack the bongos out. But
Yeah.
And my number 1 was Miles Morales, which I played again. New Game Plus it to get the platinum on PS5. Incredible game, really fun, and arguably the most fun of the Spider-Man games. because it's a little bit shorter and his combat's a little bit more fun. But there we go. That was my top 5 backlog games. So let's move on to Mr. Chris Pengelly.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this, Craig?
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So, number 5 for Chris Pengelly, he chose... I didn't even realize you played this, Pengelly, but you chose Toem.
Yeah.
Which was,
I played that on Switch this year.
I see.
I bought it in a sale. It was like £5 or £6. I had like decent thing. Now I think it was like Greg Miller's like one of his favorite games of I want to say I was going to say last year, but I mean like 2021, not 2022. Well, not 100% sure because I remember chat about it and I thought it's like £5 or £6 on Switch, so I picked it up and it was mostly enjoyable.
There you go. Chris Pengelly, everyone. So, and then his number 4 was, and this game didn't come out this year.
Nope.
Number 4.
I played it in January.
Okay. Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yes.
Which is a Switch
that game.
strategy.
Fun?
I thought you hated that game.
It's not the best JRPG.
It's backtracking.
But
It's boring.
There's only so many games I had for the backlog. Being out of the 53 games I finished last year, most of them were from 2022, so I only had a small selection to go from anyway. I think I had like 7 to pick from.
And Toem was worse than this. That's really put Toem off for me, Christ.
Right. Don't think Toem's on Xbox, Craig, I wouldn't worry.
Oh, that's right.
Next up for Chris, we had Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory.
Yes.
Which was a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, I believe.
It is a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, and it is canon, so you have to, play it. Be ready for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Craig.
Well, you got to be ready for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Okay, now.
In 2027.
Next, we had Chris finally finishing a game Kojima has made, and that is Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm confused, Chris.
Yeah.
Because your number 1 here is God of War 3.
Yes.
But now, my understanding is you played God of War 3 and then cheesed it with glitches and shit to get the platinum.
Yes.
So you like that more than Peace Walker?
Yeah, because I sort of played God of War 3 slightly properly, and I would say it's the better game than Peace Walker as well.
Can you believe that, Craig? Can you believe any of those words?
Controversy with Chris Pengelly is just, it's hand in hand.
And that's what we love him for, right? That's what he's here for.
Yeah,
but anyway.
God of War 3. The problem with Peace Walker is a little bit sort of like...
It's rubbish?
No, it's not rubbish. It's a bit like Crisis Core. It was made, obviously, for the PSP, like the mission structure and stuff of it. And, Crisis Core's got a full-on, remaster, which is close to remake. But Peace Walker, I was just playing like the 360 remaster and stuff like that, and it's definitely showing its age, sort of thing. If I played it back in the day on PSP, which I still don't know how I missed this on PSP, then maybe I would have.
Because you hate handhelds.
No, but Birth by Sleep is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. Played that on PSP. Crisis Core is like my second favorite. Final Fantasy, played that on PSP,
Lovely.
Yeah.
Craigo. Now, Craig's list is full of very good games, so let's
I try, Dave. I try, mate.
You try. So, number 5, he's got Death's Door.
Yeah, this was actually on the backlog challenge, and this was the one that I put on there, and we were all like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. And I randomly did. I did it. It came to Game Pass, and it's very good. It's very fun.
It's a
Zelda-like.
It's one in my installed will I play never play list, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it might be a Zelda-like, so you boys should like it. But,
I don't like Zelda. I like Breath of the Wild, remember? Number 4, Craig's got Chorus.
Yes, it was a surprise on Game Pass. I liked it as much as I did. It's a space combat game.
Very good game, nice.
Yeah, it's really fun. A few technical issues, if I remember correctly. I had some crashing and whatnot. But by the end of this, I did a lot of the side quest. I was an absolute fucking god, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could destroy some shit. I had some crazy abilities. Yeah, I was all over that shit.
Love that one. In the biggest comeback story since anything, we got Craig putting Life is Strange True Colors at number 3 of his backlog games.
I really like this.
Madness.
I really liked True Colors. It's definitely the best of this little genre of the Life is Strange and the Tell Me Whys sort of things. It's actually got quite a good story with somewhat decent characters, quite a nice little setting, and it plays pretty well. Doesn't feel like you're playing one of the older Telltale games. It's really fun.
Love that. Number 2, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, I think I played this all the way back in January. One that I actually bought as well. I think the rest are all Game Pass. Cost me 20 quid. It's 20 quid well spent, Davey. It's good
It's
game.
another
Looking forward
installed one that's on the backlog for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the DLC of this, definitely.
It could be one for your gift card, Craig, couldn't it?
Hell yeah.
Next up, Craig has put at his number 1 is a game that I kind of knew. I think we all knew this was going to be his number 1. That is Yakuza Like a Dragon.
What a fucking game, boys. What a game. you this is one of those that you two should be ashamed of yourselves that you've not finished this and I have.
Yeah.
Absolutely ashamed of yourselves. I think you both bought this as well.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think it's been bought and sold.
Yeah, by both of you. Probably multiple times by Chris, I expect. I'm different hardware.
I believe I have access to it via Plus and via Game Pass.
And you still haven't fucking played it.
No. Well, I've played it, just not finished it.
Yeah, I mean it's a long game. I will, I'm being honest. It's a long experience, as Chris would say.
It is one of those that, to be honest with you, with the game, sir, it does have a little bit of a chance.
Yeah, I mean it's an awesome game. Once it gets going, it's great shit. The combat's amazing, even though it's turn-based, and I'm not a big fan of that sort of shit. Yeah, I mean I'd recommend this to everyone. You too. Chris won't play it ever, but if there's a Yakuza game for you, Davey, I think this is the one.
I think so. I think you might be right there, sir. So next up, we've got Indie Game of the Year, which was very hard for me to pick 3 games, if I'm honest. So I'm going to rattle these off really quickly. Number 3.
I can't imagine there was any crossover with this either.
Absolutely not. Number 3, I've got Lunistis, which was a platformer that came out on the Switch, which was really fun. It looked like a Sega Saturn game. Number 2, I put Super Kiwi 64, which was a platformer that came to the Switch, looked like an N64 game. And at number 1, I had Grapple Dog, which came to Switch and Xbox and looks like a GBA game. So Grapple Dog is my most underrated game of the year. I can't believe that no one's heard of it. It needs to get played, Craig. It needs to get played.
This is one that I looked at. Was it last time? It had like 40 players on Xbox or something.
Right. It's madness to me. Like, it is such a good game.
It needs to go on Game Pass, doesn't it? The developer just needs to take that little bit of a Puppy Phil's money. Just get on Game Pass.
But yeah, that was my indie games. Pengy had at number 4. He had My Name Is Mayo 3.
Christ.
Then he had TMNT Shredder's Revenge at number 3.
Yeah,
Wasn't sure if that counted.
I didn't know it counted because Tribute Games are an independent studio, and obviously it was published by, is it .mu published it?
Yeah.
So is it indie? But then I thought, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Because of the IP, I was like, so I better put a 4th one just in case.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it as indie. I did have it down near the bottom of my game of the year, just as spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers from Craig. Next up, Peggy had Behind the Frame, which I have never heard of.
You've not heard of Behind the Frame?
No, I don't think I have.
So this is, I was going to say Annapurna published it, but I don't think they did. But you could imagine it being an Annapurna game. It's it's about half an hour long, experience with they're going through the story of 2 characters and their relationship told through the medium of art in the game.
Christ, Dave, have you just thrown up like I have? I've made a mess.
I blacked out.
The music is really good on it as well.
My carbonara's everywhere.
Lovely choice of meal there from Craig. At number 1, very unsurprising for Chris, we got Neon White.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Crikey.
Right. So
Neon White is great.
Now we move on to the subscription game of the year.
You did mine.
Great indies.
I forgot Craig loves it. Right now. So Craig had Tinykin, Nobody Saves the World, and Immortality.
You asshole.
So Craig's got. Craig has literally just said, and I quote, Game Pass. That's all Craig's written on this.
What was his number 2?
It was Tinykin, Nobody Saves the World, and Immortality.
Okay.
Good selection of games right there.
So, you'll probably hear from a few of these later on Craig's list, if I'm honest. Last year, Craig was a weeb. This year, Craig is an indie bitch. So What's
And
Craig next year?
he's never heard of Behind the Frame, so you know.
Yeah, I mean he's not a loser. Like
It's not on Xbox, I don't think so.
anyway, before
Guys,
Chris's Xbox hate
absolutely
carries
guys.
on. Subscription game of the year, the Craig Warren Award, which was its previous life. We'll shoot through these pretty quick again because obviously my voice is going to die very soon. I've got Persona 5 Royal at number 3, High on Life at number 2, and F1 2021 as my number 1. Played that game via EA Play and very much enjoyed it. Very good game.
Yes.
Chris Pengelly has got Stray on PS Plus. Here's one for Craig. Life is Strange Before the Storm remastered on Stadia Pro.
What on earth?
God rest
Did you
Stadia.
actually play that again?
Yeah, remember I played it. Actually, is the one Stadia game that I finished in 2022.
The last
Have you,
one.
did you buy that on Switch as well? Have you played
Yes,
it again
I
yet?
bought the Life is Strange Arcadia Bay collection on Switch. So I have Before the Storm downloaded, because that's a code in a box, and on the actual cartridge is the remaster of the first Life is Strange.
Chris
Shocking.
will literally do anything to suck off Square Enix. So.
Yeah.
And number 1, the only good game Chris is going to talk about today, and that is Football Manager 23 via Game Pass.
Yeah.
Nice.
See,
Best-
yeah, I thought I'd spread it around. I have a Plus game, I have a Pro game, I have a Game Pass game. You know, give all three. Well, Pro's obviously dead now, but you know what I mean.
What
all three
about
of
the
it as well.
Switch Online?
I guess the Mario expansion pack.
I did play
Yeah.
Mario Kart 64 yesterday, so
Mario Kart 8 expansion pack is the Switch one.
Craigo, won't forget about him this time. Mr. Game Pass, he chose Yakuza Like a Dragon at 3, obviously, which you've already talked
Hell
about.
yeah.
Immortality, which is
Hell
indie Game Pass fodder, obviously, that Craig likes. And number 1, again, a game we're going to hear about again from Craigo later on, and that is Plague Tale Requiem.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover for Game Pass and subscription for me.
When
Obviously.
you're Mr. Game Pass, you've even got a little trophy now, Craig.
Hell yeah.
So, next award was the Worst Purchase Award, and the only time today we have a unanimous 3-way.
Wait, even Chris agreed.
Even Chris agreed.
Wow,
All three of us
look at
put,
this.
and I quote, Chris's Steam Deck.
To be
Right,
fair,
wait. Surely you have to put your own worst purchase.
Nothing
So
we've done is as bad as your Steam Deck, Chris.
I
Yeah.
thought Craig was going to put the Switch on it because it only literally lasts like 2 months, and I actually couldn't think of one for you, Dave.
So
Like,
my
maybe there's-
one that
maybe
was
there's
for
a
me
liquid game
was
you bought and it
was
didn't
the
play.
Destiny 2 expansions.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a terrible decision.
That was the
That's
worst
awful.
decision I made. Chris's game was Paparazzi. Was the worst game. Did you pay money for that, or did you play it on Game Pass?
No, it was on Game Pass.
Yeah, so you didn't purchase that. So we'll have
No.
gone for Chris's Steam Deck. The only award it's going to win this year is Worst Purchase of Paul.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chris.
I knew I should have put something for me, but it's such clear and obvious that there was only
Yeah,
gonna be one winner.
there was no VAR required for
no.
So right, we're going to start with Craig with this one because he's been a bit shenanigan-y. The remaster, remake / port of the year. Craig has literally just put Crisis Core. He's not put 2. He's not put 3.
I don't think so. I had to go back and check. I think that's the only remaster I've played.
Which is mental considering considering
We,
video games in 2022.
We we moan about there's too much of this sort of shenanigans going on, but clearly you can avoid it.
Did
You don't have to buy.
Destroy All Humans 2 this year?
Not yet.
No.
I'm waiting for it to be about 15 quid or come to Game Pass.
Yeah, I was gonna play it, and then about 20 games all dropped on Game Pass at once, and I've not played it since. It just keeps on happening. They keep dropping them.
There'll be no other remasters or anything on Game Pass.
No, he's better
Not
than us.
that I've.
That's-
Yeah,
Weird.
I
I've
don't.
had to literally get him a code for him to have something for this award.
exactly. So yeah, that was the only one eligible, and a worthy winner as well. I'd say if I'd only played one and it was rubbish, I wouldn't have put anything. But
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best review anyone can give, isn't it, really?
exactly.
Chris obviously could have put 40 games here, but we'll do the 3 that he did go for. At number 3, he chose Live Alive or Live Alive or Live Alive, whatever you want to go for,
Live Alive.
which was a remake of a Super Nintendo game which came to the Switch this year.
Yeah, I played the demo for that.
As
didn't-
did I. And I
didn't
thought
like
it
it
was
that
okay.
much.
It wasn't enough for
The
me to buy
combat
it.
was rubbish.
Yeah, and then I was like, Square Enix, I can't be doing that. Second is the aforementioned Life is Strange Before the Storm remaster on Stadia. And Switch, I guess. And number one is a game I know Chris talked about quite a lot. Also the winner of his Anime Big Titted Game of the Year award, and that is 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, which came to Switch this year.
Yes.
Lots of fan service.
Lots of fan service for Pengi. As for your boy, my top three. At number three, again with a theme here, Persona 5 Royal. 9 hours so far on Xbox, love it. Just need to finish that bitch tonight this year. Number two, Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Much like Craig, and like we talked about earlier, really enjoying that game. Very, very upset that the rest aren't coming to Xbox because it's fun to play them all in one place. And number one, which is a very rogue choice here, and that is the PlayStation 1 port of Ape Escape, which came to PS4 and PS5 this year via Plus. Loved the shit out of the 8 hours I played of that game, Craig.
We do actually have a winner then for this category. We have some crossover.
It is Final Fantasy Crisis Core is the combined winner of this. Well, hashtag sponsored.
Hell yeah. There's some good in this world, Dave, and it's worth
Yeah, I
fighting
just
for.
like the three I put. Obviously, I've all finished, but like what I've played of Crisis Core and obviously my previous history is worth the winner.
Absolutely. Right, so here's the big one. So
Yes.
there is. I'm only going to do a top three, but afterwards I will talk about our own personal top threes. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah, Davey.
So the combined top three, in third place, with a massive 12 points, is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Woo!
So big shout out to all three of us played that game. Why did it not make your top 10, Craig?
Because it's bloody awful.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, they can't really
It's a shocking game. I mean, I'm shocked that you two haven't played 10 games better than that this year.
I haven't played 10 games that came out this year. Like, it was a real struggle.
This is the Outriders from last year, isn't it?
Yeah, like when we get to the list in a minute, and I'll go through them in more detail, you'll see. Okay, and number two on our list, Chris Pengelly,
Yes.
with a massive 14 points,
Yeah.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Woo!
Craig has not played this, sadly. And number one, any predictions?
I know what it is.
It's going to be my number 3, and I don't know why Craig.
So it is
put
actually both of your number threes with a massive 16 points. And I actually, because I haven't played this yet, I've actually borrowed Craig's version. Thank you, Craig. I suspect it would have made my list as well. And that is Triangle Strategy.
To be fair, I'm very glad that this is one and not a bloody Pokemon game.
I mean, the top three is very heavily Switch.
No, all 3 Switch exclusive, all JRPGs. So,
Believe Triangle Strategy is on PC.
okay, Switch console exclusive.
I
and it's a
believe the
strategy
Steam Deck
RPG.
is a console.
Yeah, it's the PC.
But yeah, I mean, let's be honest, very good year for Nintendo. So I'll just quickly go through our lists. I'll go through mine because mine's the easiest to go through. Obviously, I'm the only person with any credibility because our most played game, all three of us, I've put on the list. You two haven't because you're both scumbags. So number 10,
You said for years that Football Manager isn't a game. It's like
if you go back to every single podcast and we've done a game of the year, I have voted for Football Manager. So don't you dare say this. Number 10, Horizon Forbidden West for me.
Mm-hmm. That was my number 11.
Yeah, it's just too similar to the first game, and it makes some changes which aren't really better for the game.
Right, Horizon was below Arceus. That's horrendous, isn't it? That's
honestly, Craig. Like genuinely, Arceus may run like ass. It is more fun than Horizon. Horizon's just kind of boring.
Yeah,
like it's such a boring game. Number 9, I have Mario Strikers, which would be more, but I've literally only played it for about a week. It would be higher, I think. I've got my 2 indie games next, Lunastice at 8 and Super Kiwi 64 at 7. Lovely, short, enjoyable games. Number 6 had Kirby's Dream Buffet, which is my Kirby game of the year so far, because it's the only one I've played. It's the weird little like Kirby Fall Guys game, Craig. Really fun. Me and my girlfriend played it actually on New Year's Eve when we were battered. It was hilarious. My number 5 is Grapple Dog. Again, I wish that they would put it on Game Pass because I generally think you'd both really love it. So then I had Pokemon Arceus. Then my number 3 was Football Manager 23. My number 2 was Formula 1 Manager 22. and my number 1 was Pokemon Scarlet. So again, the only man of any credibility again is me. Thank you all for your time. So, Craigo, just let me get my fucking breath back. Number 10, you had Somerville.
Yes. Yes. Squeaked in at the end. I like this a lot more than reviewers.
And Pengy, from the sounds of that noise.
Yeah, I was going to say I played 53 games, finished 53 games last year. It might make the top 25 at a push.
Wow. Skeeving words there from Pengy. Number 9 for Krieger was Shredder's Revenge. I know you both like that game. I haven't haven't played it, which is weird because I love that type of game. But
you're a madman, Dave. It's like 2 hours long.
It's just one of those things. Like, I love beat 'em ups, but I like playing them multiplayer.
Yeah, that's to be fair. I think I played the whole thing multiplayer. It's got just like drop in, drop out.
Well, you need to download it again and play with me, Craig.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Number 8 is also a multiplayer game. Again, I think this would be on my list as well. This actually had 6 points, which is the only other game with any crossover. And that was Kirby's Forgotten Land. Forgotten Land. You enjoyed that quite a lot, I believe, Craig.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. I thought it was decent. I don't know if I liked it as much as some people. Don't know where Chris put it on his.
Same place.
Number 8. Look at that. We both agree.
Like I said, you and Chris had a couple like the 2 Switch games you both played were in the exact same place. So yeah, I feel like it would be higher on mine because I like platformers more. But we'll see. I'm literally going to play it tonight.
The problem is,
I love it.
It's okay platform, but I should like there's better ones.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. It's funny because I don't really like Mario Odyssey, so I'm really curious what I think of it. But yeah, bless your Switch, Craig.
Yes.
Bless your Switch. You had far changing tides at number 7.
Yep, really good little
Still
indie
not
game on
played
Game
that.
Pass.
I should really, because I really like the first one.
Yep, that's on Game Pass, so you won't like it.
No, the first one's really good. I think I even played it on Xbox. I'm not 100%.
I've never heard of it. I'm presuming it's some indie trash.
Yeah. This is the. Can you not remember Chris talking about the train game?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think again, I
this is a
out.
boat game instead, and it's actually really good.
Chris
That's
doesn't
why I
like
don't play that. I
boats.
don't
Yeah. Famously, Chris McGo doesn't like boats. Number 6, Craig had As Dusk Falls.
Yeah.
Oh, that game's dreadful.
Yeah,
Chris is
you're
really
gonna say that.
Chris is really coming out with the scathing. If Chris thinks a walking simulator is bad, by the way, then it must be horrendous.
That is dreadful. But I got stick even on GNamer for that because I gave it a 5.5 at my end of the
Was
year.
its greatest crime being Xbox exclusive, or?
Yes.
No, it's just really bad. I don't like the art style's horrendous as well.
So actually, Dave, it's got a really nice art style. And it's really, really well written.
You're not going to sell me on it because you know that's not the type of trash that I play.
I'm just giving some balance to Penguins' stiffness. Yeah.
Number 5, Crick had Tinykin. Again, if I played it more, I think I probably would have agreed with him. Really fun game.
Yeah, awesome game.
Number 4, Nobody Saves the World. From our friends at Dreambox.
One that you guys should play. It's very good.
Yeah, again, the backlog never ends. Number 3, Craig had Triangle Strategy, which is crazy to me that you've got 2 games from the Switch in your top 10. And yeah, I don't think I could pay you to turn the bloody thing on at this point.
Yeah. But there's 2 games out of I think the rest are all Xbox, aren't they?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, you don't have anything else, Craig. It's not going to be any calculators.
Yeah.
Unless Craig gone left field, start putting mobile games in there, we're in big trouble. The Sky Sports FPL app was number 6.
It's tough. I played more stuff. I think this obviously came out. I played Pokemon, but it was rubbish. I played a little bit of
you
Mario
own
Strikers. That didn't come out this year though.
No, but just in general, like, I'm trying to think of
Strikers, and I didn't really like that very much. There wasn't much content, so that didn't even enter consideration. So yeah,
I'm very curious. I mean, we always do a 2023 what do we reckon episode, but I'm very curious about the state of your Switch this year because there is going to be quite a lot of Switch games coming out and games you haven't played from previous. So I am interested if there is any hope that it gets played at all this year. I think it will. I think there will be at least a month where the Game Pass doesn't do it for you. When that will be, though, who knows?
I was about to say that's a bold prediction.
Prediction. Well, you know me. I love a bold prediction. Number 2, you had Immortality again, indie trash. Like fed up of them making games.
You would hate it, Dave.
I literally clouded it to get a game reward. And then, I made sure to delete it from my account, so I never had to look at it again. And number 1, you had Plague Tale Requiem, which is, I would say, the Xbox in general game of the year.
Yeah, it nearly won the True Achievements game of the
Really?
year. It was this and Elden Ring at the end, and it was really,
Poor
really
Elden Ring.
much, yeah, much closer than I thought it was going to be. I think it was the Brexit bit. I think it was 52-48.
Don't remind me of this.
um, but yeah, awesome game. Like the perfect sequel. Kind of improves on the first game in every way.
Okay.
I need to go back to that at some point.
We'll see.
Yeah, Bengals would love it, but
It's on Xbox.
I'm on like chapter 6 or 16 or something. I'll go back to it at some point.
I really dislike the French, so that would probably stop me from enjoying it.
well, you do kill a lot of Frenchies in the series, Dave. So.
As a Frenchie, though, I did start the first one. I was quite enjoying it, to be fair. So we'll see. You know what my backlog's like. So this is the list everyone wants to see. Right? Chris Pengelly.
Yeah.
It's number 10. At number 10 is Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. I didn't even know that came out this year. I thought that was the year before. That's how long this year's been.
February or March, I think, this year.
Souls-like game. Number 9, you had
I
Neon
played
White.
that on Xbox, so I guess that's technically not my
There you
Xbox
go.
game of the year.
Chris's Xbox game of the year, a Final Fantasy game, and yet they won't put games on the Xbox anyway. Number 9, Chris had Neon White.
Yes.
Number 8, you had Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yes.
Pokemon Violet made 7 for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're really giving me lots of content here, Chris. Pokemon Legends at 6. So you preferred Legends to Violet?
Yeah.
That's damning for Violet.
I prefer the setting of Legends.
Okay.
Even like the story and like,
So
the catching and stuff like that of Violet and Legends over Violet.
I went back to Legends after Scarlet, and I vastly prefer Scarlet. Vastly prefer. I think it's performance aside, it's as perfect a Pokemon game as you could play. To be honest with you, like I think it's as good as Heart Gold. It just runs like trash. Like that's really its only crime. But it's quite a big crime, obviously. But yeah. Number 5, Bayonetta 3.
Yes.
Very looking forward to getting to this one to myself. Obviously, you're going to be getting... there's a Bayonetta game coming out this year as well, so we'll wonder if that makes...
Bayonetta Oranges.
If that makes top 10 this year. Number 4, God of War Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Quite low. That's your highest PlayStation game.
That is my highest. It is my only PlayStation exclusive.
Wow. So
list,
Horizon didn't even make the top 10.
That would have been 11. It would have made the top 10 if my number 2 wasn't allowed
Obviously,
in this.
so far, no Last of Us. Obviously, you couldn't have put that in there. But Last of Us also didn't make your remake reports. I guess you
haven't played it yet.
So there we go. So God of War. So did you like God of War Ragnarok more than 2018 or less?
No, 2018 is the better game.
Did it suffer the Horizon problem? It's
Yeah,
just kind of the same.
It does a bit. It's just the quality is kept up. More than Horizons and stuff like that. In like the side quests and stuff in God of War Ragnarok are really good as well, and build out that lore and the characters in there, sort of thing. I just think it shows how good my top 3 is, because that's like a 9 out of 10 game. God of War Ragnarok, yeah, I got 3 games higher in it.
Love that, Hangy. Number 3, you had Triangle Strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously loved it. Was
Yes.
your Square Enix game of the year?
I guess, it's my Square Enix game of the year. And it got me, cause obviously I played that and I played Live, which is not as good. It doesn't even, it's not even near the top 10, but both of them being 2D HD games has got me more excited for Octopath Traveler 2, which comes out in February, so.
Yeah, I think the
Are
only...
you going to go back and play the first one?
No.
First one's fun. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, but number 2 is like a standalone, like a different story. So you got to think like Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy 2. You don't really need to play the first one.
Yeah, it's Triangle Strategy and the 2D, 3D, HD, whatever shenanigans. The Dragon Quest 3 port is probably the only thing that's going to break my fuck Square mood at the moment. Because I'm very upset with the way they've treated Xbox, TBH. So yeah, I will play it again. I've borrowed Triangle Strategy off of Craigo, so I will play that so he can sell his Switch games on and make some cash money for Game Pass. But yeah,
beer money.
Right. But at number 2, Chris had 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim Job, which I'm glad you enjoyed. The anime boobs.
Yes, it is very good.
And to sum up Chris's love of anime boobs, number 1 is Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yes, which you both should play because it is a fantastic. One of the best JRPGs I've ever played.
I see. I love the Xenoblade games I have played, but
Mm.
they're just too big. You know, like I just don't have 120 hours in me anymore, especially for something that isn't turn-based. I can cope with 120 hours of turn-based, but I certainly
Yeah.
can't do 120 hours of half turn-based.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's half. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's. You said it's auto battle if you're feeling
It's
like
also a lot of
lazy.
cat girls, Chris, and you know I don't really like the cat
There's
girl.
a few cat girls.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
not
few cat
really
girls.
what I'm into. Craig is turning that way. He loves a cat girl, just Craig. But
Is there cat people in Ni no Kuni too? Or isn't there?
there is
Yeah.
cat people. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Ni no Kuni
Yeah.
Remastered was very close to my top 3 remakes, remasters, ports. I just didn't play it enough. Again, I think it's probably my biggest Game Pass recommendation to Craig from the Japanese stuff that's been added recently. I love Persona 5, but it might be too Japanese for Craig. But we'll see. I think they're both very good games. Craig will not play them because he literally has too many games to play. But
Yeah, unless we get some sort of good handheld in them, maybe.
yeah, I think with you, it's if they start to come down in price, like I say, I've really enjoyed using the game. So if there is a standalone one that comes down in price, or like someone does a deal where you can buy like a, I don't know, like a Samsung tablet with a Kishi for like 125 quid. You know what I mean? Like that would work fine. As long as the screen is big enough for you, which is probably roughly the Switch size, right? That's probably what you're after. Then
Yeah.
maybe.
Or just put it on the Steam Deck. Just put it on the fucking Steam Deck. Put
You
Game Pass on the
can
Steam Deck.
kind of do it on the Steam Deck. Which
Yeah,
is not
but
enough.
it's an absolute shambles. Well,
Yeah, Microsoft just needs to make their own Steam Deck, don't they? Really, or let that Logitech thing come out over here.
And make it cheaper.
Make it about £100 cheaper. I think that Craig would be, Craig would be all in. Or like you buy it and you get 6 months of Game Pass, right? That would be that kind of deal. But
Yeah, it needs something like that, definitely.
But that is our Pod of War Game of the Year chat. So well done to Square Enix for winning this year. I will be shocked if they win it next year. We obviously
Yeah, but next year's I got Final Fantasy 16.
it's true, but
obviously.
me and Craig will not be playing that.
I guess they'll get
But
like
Chris has already decided this is his number one.
no, but it might not be my number one. But let's say it's like my number. I was only going to get 8 points.
He's already
though, isn't
decided
it?
it's in his top 3. Then.
I was going to say like there's more chance this year of I think this to talk about predictions, which we will obviously we're about to do an episode about the fantasy Craig, so we can end this on some like 2023 predictions. Why not? Let's make it fun. Very few people get this far anyway, so this is all for us at the end of the day. I would predict that that I will play more Xbox than I've played this year by quite a long way, in which case opens up the Xbox to win Game of the Year awards again like it used to when me and Craig would both play them.
The only thing is, Craig will play quite a bit of indies and have things like Immortality in like his top 1, 2, or 3. But you'll have like
chance.
a
Redfall.
Forza Motorsport.
I mean, Craig will play Forza Motorsport. What do you think
Yeah,
I'm playing Forza with?
Yeah, but I can see that being like a 8th on Craig's. But like
I won't
your
lie,
second,
Pengy.
and,
I
like,
was
Immortality.
pricing up a racing wheel earlier. They're not as expensive as you'd think.
I love that. I think for next year as well, one thing to bear in mind is I think third party is going to be much, much stronger than it has been this year.
Yeah.
Because I can see mostly the winner being actually Star Wars Jedi
Yeah,
Survivor.
yeah. If I was making a prediction right now, that would be my like.
If I play that this year, then yeah.
Because all 3 of us are mostly play it.
I'm
And
not going to pre-order it because
5 or 6.
I'm going to America like the day after it comes out. So if I see it for under 40 later in the year,
Yeah.
because I'll just sit there and finish it. Let's be honest, what will happen is Mandalorian season whatever is going to come out. I'm going to watch that, and then I'm going, I want a Star Wars right now.
Oh yeah.
So that's
how
what's
they get
going
you.
to happen. But
Have you seen Andor yet?
No, I'm going to watch that.
I
Oh,
watched
my,
that.
my partner's
It's
been
so
here all
good.
week, and she doesn't really like Star Wars. So I've just been...
That would get you in the Star Wars spirit, Dave. That would get that pre-order back on the cards.
Well, we've been watching Ted Lasso. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
so good, by the way, Craig, if you've not watched it. So
No, I
good. Oh, it's so funny. Like, you'd love it. Like, straight up, you'd love it. But, yeah, that's one of my predictions. My prediction with the Switch is... So I think I'm mostly fascinated by the Switch. Because, obviously, they've allegedly cancelled the Switch 2. Or the Switch Pro.
Switch
Really?
Pro, yeah.
The Switch Pro has allegedly been cancelled. That was like 3 or 4 days ago that leak happened, right,
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
But the Switch
For a
Pro
Switch
has
2
been
instead.
cancelled. So what they're likely to do is going to be either a new console get announced for 2025, or there would just be a new Switch for this year, which literally is just like the OLED but with like a better battery. It's selling too well. So I went into so this is again like off the cuff. I went into CX and Game today with my partner, and we walked into CX, and the woman who was there, the lady working there, literally said to us, "We get wiped out of Nintendo stuff every year." They had like very few Switch games. They had like nothing for the 3DS. We were trying to get. So she works in a special needs school. So we were trying to buy some games for them to play on their 3DS that they have, and there was like nothing there. And then we went into Game, and I'm not lying to you, Craig, I probably saw 4 games on the shelf for the Switch. It was wiped out. There was nothing there. Nothing. No pre-owned, nothing. Like, there's absolutely nothing for the Switch. So I was like, this thing's still selling stupid, isn't it? Like, this thing is still selling stupid.
We had loads of OLEDs in for Black Friday and work. We had about 30 in, and we sold all 30 in like less than a week, which we like, it's
because I've been looking myself at an OLED because my Switch has been on its last legs for a long time. I've got a launch Switch, so if you play in handheld, it doesn't like to recognize both Joy-Cons anymore, no matter what Joy-Cons I put on it. So it's like kind of getting to the point where I've been like, well, do I just wait? Do I wait for another one? Like, is there going to be like, you know what I mean? So I'm probably one really fancy special edition away from getting an OLED.
Or you could Penguin spice that possible Zelda OLED, and you could have my OLED.
I mean, I'd rather if I was gonna get it. So like, to be honest with you, Chris, if I'm gonna buy a handheld console, I will buy a new one myself. And if I was gonna buy an old one, I'd buy Craig's because his is the least played of the OLEDs available. The Zelda special edition might tempt me because I'm gonna play Tears of the Kingdom this year for sure. Like, Tears of the Kingdom is my only game I look at. That and Jedi Survivor, the only 2 games I look at. I go, well, these 2 are going to be in my top 5, unless they are awful. Like, I can see that happening. Starfield, I have no idea. Starfield, I think, could either be a game that I play for 2 hours and put down, or a game that I play for 100 hours and I love. It's going to be one or the other, I think. Same with Craig, I think, with Starfield. I think you're going to be a similar place. I think me and you will both potentially 100% complete Redfall. Because our record for Game Pass multiplayer games that they just randomly put out is actually quite high.
It looks fun as hell as well.
Yeah, like when me and Craig 100% completed fucking
Have you seen
Bleeding
the
Edge,
date
so
leaked for that as well?
Yes, May. Right,
May the 2nd, I believe, and there's going to be, by the sound of it, like a preview,
like a beta, which will be in because we're in Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm curious because obviously the only thing I know that's coming out in May that's even on my radar is a Trails game, and obviously I think is that announced for May?
Yeah,
is that May 23rd?
It's earlier than that. It's 5th or 4th of May or something like that.
Okay, you can't pre-order that at the moment, can you? Which is annoying.
I guess you can get it on like Game or something, or Amazon.
Amazon has just got like an unpriced, undated listing.
No, weird. Yeah, it's like 4th or 5th of May.
Okay, so that's one of those things where like Redfall, we'll see. But yeah, I think there's a lot of games. The only thing I'm pretty sure that is going to be a struggle for me this year is going to be PlayStation, because the only thing I'm even remotely interested in is Spider-Man. If that does indeed come out this year.
It will, won't it?
Insomniac are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're the best studio they have as well, by the way. If anyone says Naughty Dog, they're wrong. Like, Insomniac is by far the best studio that PlayStation.
Do you think they're going to announce more first-party stuff for next year?
Think so. Like, I'm going to be controversial. I think that they never really do, Craig. They never really do announce a lot, and then just they will live off 1 or 2 games. Because like they're not going to do another God of War, they're not going to do another Horizon, there's not going to be Last of Us Part 3 that's going to come out this year. It might get announced this year, but it's not going to come out this year. You're going to get
May, Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay, so you're going to get a Horizon remake, right? That's pretty much a known rumour for the first.
I don't think that's going to be this year. You'll get Call of the Mountain and Burning Shores.
Yeah, they'll count their VR2 games, Craig, obviously as well, which is where I've covered their first parties are. But I don't think they will. I don't think there's going to be another Ratchet. I don't think there's going to be another Sackboy unless it comes to VR. Same with the Astro. I don't think. Obviously, Gran Turismo came out and no one gave a toss. So I don't know. I think it will be Spider-Man. And Spider-Man will probably be the best-selling PS5 game this year. Certainly exclusive.
I don't think. Oh yes, I was going to say. I know you're going to say that because it's Final Fantasy 16, but I think 16 might be just because it will sell in Japan, where Spider-Man will sell in Japan, but not as ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, because I keep forgetting
that.
I mean, yes, you've got Final Fantasy 16, you've got Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Rebirth.
Yeah, well, I can't see them doing two
Yeah.
Final Fantasies in 1 year. I can see that
but
coming out.
Square have said this is going to be one of the biggest years for Final Fantasy because we're in the
Well, you've got
35th
the
anniversary.
you've got the
Pixel
remasters, haven't you? So like
Yeah,
that's so
yeah,
So
that's
if
when
you
they said that.
so if you don't want to buy Square Enix games, there isn't a lot coming this year. Like I honestly think my only new purchase could be Spider-Man, for PS5. Because my backlog is about 3 or 4 games that are going to take me a while anyway. So I think for me personally, I think PS5 could well end up being the least played of the 3 consoles. Sorry, this year. But we'll see. We'll see, boys. We'll see. But anyway, we've got another podcast to record. So thank you for watching our Game of the Year awards. Tell us what was your Game of the Year award in the comment. If you got this far, thank you very much, and we will speak to you next week.
Bye.